exactly is an ERP system? I touched upon it a couple of times before, and we will take a more systematic look into what a typical ERP is. So an ERP package would typically mirror the business functions in a company. I mean, we work in an organization, we know there's human resources, there are finance people, there are production people, logistics people, so on and so forth. So an ERP package, instead of writing code from the bottom up, actually delivers a pre-packaged system and says, okay, here's your financial accounting package, and this is all it can do. You need to set it up for your company so that you are able to do the way you want to do things. And of course, a lot of ERPs are made, are pre-configured also, and usually made based on the good business practices in the company. But the objective of an ERP package is simply this, that this is a buffet. Pick and choose what you want. You want to set up only for financial accounting. You don't want to do purchasing on it. That's fine. That's fine for today at least. And year down the line, you want to introduce purchasing, your purchase orders, purchase acquisitions, so on and so forth. You are free to do so because you've already purchased the purchasing module along with when you purchase the finance, because the whole thing came together. And so on and so forth, you can go in and introduce your other modules, logistics, production planning, quality, what have you, as and when you need them. Obviously, like most other things, it will probably be cheaper to do all of them together or do most of them together upfront, but it's not necessary. For some companies, finance everyone needs, everyone has accounting, but there are some companies which don't require production planning. They don't produce anything. So they won't need it. They could be trading. So they'll probably look for some other functionality, but you still have it. If you need it later, suppose you buy another company which does production, then you can turn it on. So those kind of options are available because it comes as a pre-packaged modular software. And typically, since all ERPs are modular, you are, like I said, you don't have to, you can also transact offline in certain areas. I know some companies which may be running an ERP in the background, but their point of sale system is something else. And then they probably, once in a night or twice in a day, they bring in that data and feed that into their billing system so that their billing is up to speed. So those kind of things are common too, here and there. So compared to a customized legacy system, which is usually bespoke, which is usually made as per specifications, the ERP modules are a lot more generic. So when you have an ERP delivered to you for sales and distribution, for example, it will have a functionality that would be possible for any kind of an organization which may be having anything in business, anything in sales. So if you can use that functionality and do your training that way, do your transactions that way, you are able to configure or customize to the company's requirement based on what exactly you need to do. And time to time, you will need to modify or add the functionality as needed. And a good part of that setup can be done with other business functions in mind. A typical example would be, for example, if you want to start your, you're not a manufacturing organization, you deal only in trading goods, you import them and you sell them off, but you did not use the functionality of sales in that ERP, and today you want to use it. So along with that, you would probably need to set up a small light warehouse management along with that so you can stock your items. And those kind of turn-ons of the systems can be done anytime. And you can even turn them off. I mean, there are cases we have seen that where we have seen a migration occurring from an ERP system to a non-ERP standalone system because the ERP did not have that kind of customized functionality that they required. I haven't seen, but I'd heard that Cirque du Soleil, which our Montreal-based Montreal or Quebec City, not sure, Circus company. They have SAP in finance, and they tried to use it for gate receipts. It didn't work the way they wanted, and then they stopped it, and now they feed in data from their external system for gate receipts into their existing ERP, and then now they're enhancing their ERP for that purpose. I think they're not doing too well, so I don't know if the project's gone, but it's possible to go back and forth in an ERP system. And then we have, like I said, there's different modules, and the different modules have sub-modules. So a typical ERP, you would say that it has a sales and distribution module, or a sales module, or distribution is separate depending on which ERP you are looking at. You could have a finance module which could be integrated for everything, or you could have one only for accounting, another one for fixed assets separately. You could have a materials management that could include purchasing, or it could just be materials, and purchasing could be separate depending again which ERP you are looking at. So they're all built differently, but essentially their job is to replicate the entire business function in an organization. Now, if we have the different sub-modules in an organization like sales and distribution, finance, materials management, under them, you would have an order management, could have a pricing as a sub-module, warranties as another, etc. And some of these sub-modules can be really big. Like you could be looking at something like 300-400 programs in one sub-module, maybe 500 to 700 or 1,000 tables which are storing the data of that sub-module and so on. And so and the reason for that is that a typical ERP is delivered for everyone, and everyone picks and chooses what they want. And because of that, you have the function, all the functions available in every ERP when it's delivered out of the package. And then we have, of course, the interfaces which I referred to earlier. If your ERP system is not able to deliver what exactly you need, all your functionality, you can have external systems like taxation example that I gave earlier. And you can connect these systems through interfaces to import or export the data from there.